Hi everybody, Sarah here with the Big Blue House Homestead, and I am covered in water because I threw down this big compost bucket and I splashed it up my leg. So yay, good start to an early morning. But I got all my baskets, well not all of them. I'm gonna have to go steal one of my produce crates. It's full of weeds and go ahead and dump it. But we are gonna do a big harvest today. I have been harvesting daily, constantly, consistently, beans at night too. I just all day harvest. But I wanna show you guys the reality of my garden. I show bits and snippets and pieces. I never show the whole thing. There's a lot of stuff going on out there. I've got blight setting in on some of my tomatoes, which is very unfortunate because once you get blight, there's really not much you can do. So I'm just gonna wait till the tomatoes are red. I'm gonna harvest and then I'm gonna move forward and pull the plants because you can't save them. I've got some Tabasco peppers that are yellowing. They really need something to boost them up more. So I'm gonna give them some Epsom salt and some fertilizer, see if that helps. Rain has not happened in a couple days, which is unusual because we've been having storms like crazy. And so I have to check on things because like all that stuff I potted up, that soil was not great. So it's all leaching the water out. So things are drying out really quickly. So I've got a lot of stuff I've got to do today, but I'm not going to focus on the damage. I'm just telling you that this garden is huge. It is overwhelming and I spend more time out here than I do in my home. And that's because I have to. Still behind on weeds. It's always going to be that way. When you grow in ground like this, it is really hard to contain weeds, and I have very problematic weeds, especially like the Bermuda grasses and stuff. Yeah, that stuff's not fun to deal with. But even with it being a little bit of a mess, like I've got some Tigger melons that are not doing so great, and you know, just what it is. We're going to walk through and we're going to look at the garden and we're going to do a big harvest today. And I'm going to show you what it's like when you grow too many plants and expand your garden too much and you're trying to see how much food you can save for a winter. Seriously, it's a lot of work. So let's get out and get this all done. All right, I want to try to show you guys the extension of my garden, the exact size. So if you look over here past the gate, there's actually a whole bunch of watermelons growing over there in a caged area. And then I've got my left side entrance that runs all the way across. And that was what I considered my enclosed garden. It was the original garden space. And now I have where I've extended in my second year, which is with the raised beds and 3 lines that I did in the ground. And all of the squash in the front. But then I extended even more this year. And so it goes all the way down to the stalls. And it is exactly the length of my entire back property. But yeah, and I still have the beds up front and more to show. But it's a very, 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 very large garden. Lots going on. So we're going to get out and let's get this harvesting started. All right, I'm going to start over here with these little currant tomatoes. Just going to grab the small basket, but you can see all the red that's in here. We're going to go ahead and pick as many of these tomatoes as we can. All right, currant tomatoes. Okay, so I started over here with these beans, and I've already gotten quite a bit in a basket. I may just come out and pick beans tonight, but I just want to talk to you about beans for a minute. This is an entirely weedy mess. But when you're picking your beans, make sure you're getting them at the full size. But if you're picking your green beans too early, it can be the difference between that and that. That looks like a nice mature bean, but look at that. That's even better. So yeah, seriously, just give yourself some time on your beans. Make sure you get them when they're fully ripe, fully matured. That way you get a good harvest and not just an okay harvest. You want to make sure you get as many beans as you can because you're putting food up, you're storing, you're canning, you're freezing, whatever you're doing, but you want to focus on more food and less waste, if that makes sense. So, picking a couple cucumbers, and I found this laying on the ground right by these tomato plants. And I'm like, why is there a tomato laying there? And then I realized that the tomatoes are missing off of one of the plants. Not sure what that was, but something tried to eat my tomato. Guess I'll have to keep an eye out for this guy. Looks like I have some more cherry tomatoes ready. So I'm going to go ahead and get these off. And this is the best time because they are nice and sweet. So nice little haul. seriously, over here, it is cucumber time. Most of my plants are struggling throughout all the containers and stuff, but these guys seem to be doing awesome. They are producing nice, big, beautiful cucumbers for me. So I've got great cucumbers. All right, banana peppers for the win. Almost got a full basket, but it's gonna be full as soon as I'm done with these guys. So we're gonna start picking some banana peppers. I shared how to freeze peppers in my video, and I kind of misspoke, and I just want to correct that. If you're saving for like banana peppers, when they're this yellow, the seeds can be viable, but you really want them to change to red to make like full maturity. I was just trying to show how to do it with these smaller peppers, and because I was already removing the seeds, just kind of trying to share that, but I don't want people to be misinformed. So yeah, just make sure you let these change color. They will turn red, and that's when you save seeds. Full basket. It's a lot of banana peppers. All right, so my eggplants, these are the long eggplants. They're looking a little sad. I really need to get out and give these guys some love, but I'm getting eggplants. All right, and the Kentucky Wonders. That's going to be a long pick, so I'm going to get to work on these. Okay, reality. Sometimes you're picking beans and you pull too much and you get the whole plant. Well, not the whole plant, but part of it. That's okay. It happens to all of us. Don't be upset or, discouraged. It's just part of gardening. So yeah, pick your beans, and if you get a little piece of a plant, just plop it off. You'll be fine. Another full basket. And this is exciting. My first tomato harvesting. So I'm gonna pick some tomatoes. Even if they're a little under, that's fine. It's gonna give me the opportunity to ripen them on the counter until I need them. But nice, beautiful tomatoes. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real. That's a pretty tomato. And that's not so pretty. So I probably will just throw this to my chickens or chuck it in the field, because I'm not going to try to save that. You see it's dripping. It's too far gone. Nice big handful of noodle beans. I have filled some baskets. Lots of baskets here. Lots of beans. And it's break time. I'm sweating, kind of overwhelmed, and it's hot. So I'm going to go take a break. Okay, I took my break. It's July 14th. I'm going to get this video put up today 100%, and it is already like 89 degrees, pushing 90, but that was when I looked when I laid down. I'm sure it's probably up to like 91 or 2 by now. Emptied out the baskets. Let's refill. Okay, I got to get into this squash bed because I'm sure there's some that need to be picked. Yeah, I've just got the one. These are delicata bush squash. So I'm going to stick with that one. All right, more banana peppers and more beans. Lots of stuff over here. All right, I noticed these the other day. I'm going to go ahead and pick this guy to show you. But that is one of my black-eyed peas. Check those out. Beautiful beans. And they're starting to produce, and I've got quite a bit going on. So I'm excited about those. All right, so the lima beans are setting off the really big pods. I can see them starting to form beans inside. I did see one yesterday that was a small, just like single bean in a pod. Let's check it out. Here it is. Just see, it's one little tiny bean. Just one bean. So let's check it out and see what's going on in there. I would have to say that's a beautiful lima bean. Okay, I'm on this final row. All of these tomatoes are probably fine, not ready to be picked. But I've got all these bad boys right here. All these jalapenos. So I'm going to pick some jalapenos real quick. All right, I'm going to be honest. All these beans in the sweetie patch need to be picked, but I'm done. I'm going to come out tonight and do those. It's just too hot. Okay, fans on in the kitchen because it is hot. I'm telling you, I'm burning up. Drinking a Gatorade. Not sponsored by Gatorade, but if you guys want to call me up, I'll show you a hot mess. South Carolina Sarah. Drinking a Gatorade. Seriously, electrolytes help, especially when you've been outside sweating a whole lot. It was me just being funny. I'm not serious. I don't want to be sponsored by anything. So, anyways, I got the sink completely filled. Still got a bunch of tomatoes and beans to do. We're going to get them all washed. I'm going to cool down a little bit, and then I'll show you today's harvest. Like I said, I'm not picking those other beans until tonight. It is too hot, and it's 2 o'clock, so I have been out for about 3 hours in the garden already. I'm going to just take a break for the rest of the day, and I'll go out tonight when it's nice and cool. So, alright, so everything on the towel is what I harvested today. I've got a butternut squash, handful of okra, all those beautiful little tomatoes. I love currant tomatoes. And then a handful of cherries, a bunch of big red tomatoes, eggplants, sweet banana peppers, jalapenos. I also have these Jimmy Nardellos. Check this guy out. Isn't that a beautiful pepper? I love those. Now this one, it's got some damage, but I'm just going to save seeds from it, so I washed it anyway. But the other 3 are fully edible. Got a bunch of cucumbers, bunch of hot peppers, jalapenos, bananas. Those are tender green beans. I've got a zucchini, bunch of crookneck, bunch of Asian noodle beans, a delicata. Those are my Kentucky Wonder beans, and those 2 bad boys. Those are my blue Hubbard squash. This one, I'm not sure why it turned orange. I think it had something to do with the vine dying on it. But this other one is way overdue. So it can actually get bigger, but it's been on there long enough. And if you can see, the stem started to dry. And that's a good indication that your squash or your melons, things that are big like that, are, ready. So I went ahead and pulled it. But I want to weigh him, see how much he weighs. All right, you got to ignore the mess back here. I haven't done the dishes today. It's only 2:50 now, so it's still early in the day, but we're going to put this on. Oh, I should turn it on first. £3 pounds, 9.7 ounces. That's a beautiful squash. And these are really good and sweet. I like Blue Hubbards. So almost 4 pounds. Yep. All right. I told you I was just going to harvest today and show you guys what I got. And just to think, I'm only two months and 2 weeks into my garden being planted. And I'm just starting to get ripe tomatoes, and I'm just starting to get peppers, and it's a lot of work. So prepare yourselves if you want to do large gardening. Definitely spend a lot of time outside, a lot of time in the heat, because you cannot avoid that ever when it comes to a garden. And picking. I mean, this was like an hour and a half just to pick, and then about another 30 to 40 minutes just to clean. So now I got to put it all away. I don't mind, but got to put it away. Got to, do the harvest, to do the preservations. And so I'm just going to look at everything today and go, what needs to go where? And I'll get some stuff blanched and frozen. I'll get some stuff thrown into some cans. And I just pickled peppers. Let me show you those. Yeah, I just did a bunch of jars of pickled jalapeno, or pickled sweet banana peppers and banana peppers, because I don't know the difference. I planted sweet peppers to see what the difference is, but they look exactly the same. So maybe I should do a taste test. Maybe I should eat a pepper like Peanut does. Or Geeky Gardens, eat a spicy hot pepper, even though these aren't that hot. But anyway, beautiful product. I pickled peppers, and now I get to go all over again and do that. And by the way, if you look at my jars, you can see they have a little bit of a film on them. Now, I work with well water, so if you have city water, this applies the same too. Well water doesn't always come out 100% clean. That's why you have to put it through filter systems and all that. But if you're having trouble with your jars coming out of your water when you're canning, and they're kind of murky looking and kind of ugh, just throw a couple tablespoons of vinegar. I just put a big splash in. Put that into your water as you put your jars in, and that vinegar will keep that all nice and clear, and then you don't have to deal with that. And it's just kind of like a film residue that you get with water, build up. No big deal. But you can also rewash them with some soapy water and they look just fine. So anyways, how about we taste a pepper real quick? Okay, I'll let these eventually go to red. I mentioned in the video earlier that that's how you save your seeds, is when you let these things go fully ripe. It's kind of all along the board, except I've never had an issue with like green peppers, things that are intended to be eaten at that color. You can save the seeds from those. But I'll let some go red because they're supposed to be just as good, but that's the banana and that's the sweet banana. So let's do a taste test. It's really good. It's not hot at all. It's got a little tiny bit of a touch, but nothing major. So let's see what a banana pepper is like, because banana peppers are supposed to be hotter. Yep. We need to have more heat. Probably just eat those as a snack today. Alright, so if you look at packets and they say sweet banana and regular banana, they have the same flavor. When they turn red, we'll do another taste test and see what that's like. But they have the same flavor, but that banana pepper's got a little tiny touch more heat than the sweet does. So I guess that's the only big difference. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Go get this edited and put up today because, like I said, I wanted to share it as of today. Because I do my videos mainly the same day, I've just been a little behind. I did a couple videos, the next day, recipe video sharing, things like that. And then I'm busy. And you saw that produce. I'm busy. This is the rest of my day dealing with this stuff. Kids, cooking, more chores in the garden, chickens, all that. So I'm going to get going. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe below. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up and leave some comments because I will gladly answer anything that anybody asks or, take in any information you give me. If you're new, please hit that subscribe. I'm growing as I go, and I put out videos every day, and if you're looking for good content, I'm hoping that that's what I have to share. And I do a lot of recipe videos as well, so check out those, too. I try to teach everything that I do with the garden, from growing to preserving to eating. And that's kind of my goal on my channel. So, again, thank you guys for stopping by, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.